The amount of money that they were able to get us over our target number, I couldn't believe it. Just to cut to the chase, they got us millions more than our target numbers. Hi, my name's Joe Jelinek, and I'm one of the owners of Aspen Exteriors, and we're extremely happy with the fact that we decided to sell our company with True North. Aspen Exteriors is a storm damage restoration company. For many years, what we did was predominantly exteriors. We did roofing and siding and gutters. As time progressed, I realized that we kept adding things, and I used to joke saying, we might as well add like pools and bouncy houses, and we're grill masters, and it's nonsense. And we ended up going to roofs only. Instead of being a jack of all trades, let's build a skyscraper on being a master of one, and that's exactly what we did. Over the last couple years prior to selling, I started to get contacted directly by private equity firms and individuals interested in buying my company. Started with one, and then two, and then pretty soon it's a couple times a week. Just constantly, every single day. It got to be very annoying. And I started to set up meetings and interviews with some of these companies that were contacting me. And I realized I was like a fish out of water, and I could see the writing on the wall that there's a lot more to selling a company, the ins and outs, the ups, the downs, all the nuances. So that's what prompted me to have a meeting with my business partners to say, hey, is it time? And if it is time, we need to reach back out. What I didn't realize is you can't just call, True North, you can't just call Sunbelt and they snap their fingers and your company's sold. You have to do proactively your due diligence ahead of time to get your company in many different aspects prepared to sell. One of the greatest things about having sold the company that I'm immediately feeling is the freedom and time that I haven't had over the last couple decades to spend that quality time with my wife, with my kids, with my friends, to do some traveling with my wife, which we've always wanted to do. As a matter of fact, we just got back from a few weeks in Switzerland, which I highly recommend you go to. It's like heaven on earth. It has really afforded me that freedom and given me the opportunity at a fairly young age to really go overboard and spend tons now of quality time with family and friends. So that's been a huge benefit. The best advice I could give someone that's considered selling or they've decided to sell their company is the same advice that I just gave a buddy of mine. Just a couple days ago, he called me. He's thinking about selling his company because he thought about going down the road of doing it himself without True North, without a third party. And I said I would not do that, especially with True North, because they got us so much money more than we had anticipated, more than we had set out and thought that we would get, that they many times overpaid for themselves. What was really great about working with True North is the friendships and the camaraderie. I'm still friends with people to this day that were part of my team, still go golfing. What else is really great about working with True North is their systems and processes that they have in place to sell a company. I can't imagine it going any smoother, and I'm sure I annoyed them at times, but on top of that, every single time I called, boom, they were there to answer my questions immediately. It was kind of like they took me by the hand, and their objective and goal was to walk me through the whole process and get me across the finish line of selling as worry-free as possible, and they accomplished their objective. It was great.